Hi folks, Ben from carrypad.com here. I've got the Droid X and the Droid 2 here with me, and I wanted to answer a question that a lot of people are probably asking, and that is, what's the difference between these two new devices from Verizon? First of all, the thing you're definitely going to notice is the size. The Droid X has a 4.3-inch screen, while the Droid 2 has a 3.7-inch screen, though both are running an 854 by 600 resolution. So, same resolution, same pixels on each screen, but this just has a larger one. Another huge difference between these devices is that the Droid 2 actually has a slide-out QWERTY keyboard, which the Droid X does not. The Droid X is just a slate phone, no keyboard, no sliding, no movements, just a sort of a brick there. So, on top of that, we're going to go around the devices, look at the different things they have to offer. So, here's the Droid 2. We've got a 2-stage camera button, volume rocker, hold switch on top, 3.5mm headphone jack, micro USB for charging and syncing, and if you can see it there, we've got a microphone there on the bottom. This is the only mic on the Droid 2 here. On the back, we've just got 5-megapixel camera with dual LED flash, and that's about it. Now, the Droid X here actually has a couple of differences. So, you do have the 2-stage shutter button, volume rocker, and hold power switch, 3.5mm jack, and there's actually a microphone up here, and this is one of 3 on this device. So continuing around the side, we've got micro USB here for charging and syncing, HDMI D type port, which will let you hook this phone up to an HD TV or anything that has HDMI and play HD video out of it. This is a lanyard, little lanyard slot holder, and on the back of the device we have another microphone, which is number 2, number 3 on the front of the device here. And also the Droid X has physical buttons down here. The 4 Android buttons, these are actual buttons that you press, and you're going to hear a click when you press them. The Droid 2 has capacitive buttons that will vibrate when you touch them, but they aren't real buttons there, they're just touch sensitive. Now we're going to look at the software of both of these devices. The Droid X comes out of the box at this point with Android 2.1, and the Droid 2 has Android 2.2. The main difference being Droid 2 supports Flash, and the Droid X does not yet. There's also some cool things that 2.2 does that 2.1 doesn't, such as voice actions and push-to-phone extension from Google Chrome. So the first thing we're going to do is a quick 3G speed test. Both of these phones are on Verizon, and we'll see how they perform here. So the Droid X seems to have beaten the Droid 2 by quite a bit here. Droid X came in at 590 kilobits per second download, 517 kilobits per second upload, while the Droid 2 only managed 239 kilobits per second download, although it did hit a 674 kilobits per second upload. We'll try that test one more time. Again, the Droid X outperforming the Droid 2 on the download with 381 kilobits per second for download and 556 kilobits per second for upload. Droid 2 clocked in at 188 kilobits per second download, but the upload beat the Droid X with 608 kilobits per second on that test. Of course, this is going to depend upon where you are and signal, things like that. Both of these devices are made by Motorola, so I'm going to assume that the hardware inside is very similar and should be capable of handling the same speeds. Now, whether or not these devices are equally picking up the cellular network is a sort of a question in itself. Now we're going to look quickly at a browser speed comparison. I've already cleared the caches on both of these, and the big difference we're going to see here is the fact that Android 2.2 is supposedly a little bit faster than 2.1. Again, this device has 2.2, this device has 2.1. And I may as well mention now, both devices have a 1 GHz processor. So what we're going to do is load up netbooknews.com on each device. The caches have already been cleared. Droid X finished there a little bit faster than the Droid 2 in the loading bar, but both pages came up at about the same time. Now we're going to try the same thing with Engadget. So the Droid 2 beat the Droid X there a little bit, but that's just a mobile site, so we're going to see what happens when we load the full page. Droid X is done loading the site now. And now the Droid 2 is finished. So there you have it, folks. That's the Droid 2 and the Droid X. Check out carrypad.com for more info on these devices.